I'm not going back and forth with a man who thinks that they should be in my position. If you want to be in my position, get in my position.
Do you believe that?
Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show on YouTube at Bluff City Media. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Anthony Sain.
Acknowledge me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, here live from the Bluff City Media Studio. Kenny Stubblefield behind the glass. Kenny, what's going on, my brother?
My brother, it's a beautiful day, man.
Man.
Guy, it was like the weather was beautiful today.
The weather's just crazy today, man. Off the chain. I know what's coming, though, man. I'm a big-time allergy sufferer. I know.
You can hear it in your voice right now.
It's coming, man. It's coming for sure. I was riding with the windows down, and boy, did I pay for it when I got here tonight.
I know. You got to the studio tonight, and you were like,
yeah, man, water drinking.
Yeah,
man, for sure. Yeah, it was one of those days for real, man. Today is episode 69, Kenny Stubblefield. So it's going to be over freaky, extra nasty edition here today, man. No, I don't have anything freaky to talk about. At least I don't think of. It'll probably come out organically.
It's just organically.
Yeah.
You ain't got to think of
nothing. I
nothing.
don't have anything planned, but yeah, who knows? We might get freaky dicky for sure. Parish Sharkey is going to be in today. I don't know if he has anything extra 69 that she wants to talk about on today. Paris stay coming back for some type of out-of-town trip, man. So ain't no telling what kind of,
Where's he been?
He was coming from, and he coming from Dallas or some shit. Dallas yesterday.
Hey, man.
He said something like that. Yeah.
So, I wish I had that bank like Parish does.
Oh, yeah, Paris got that money, man. Paris be coming in with big time city projects that he just walked away from and shit. Breaking ground type stuff for Parish Sharkey.
Breaking ground.
Yeah, he'll be in today for to sit down with Sain, like he is each and every Wednesday. A lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk some Grizzlies, going to talk some Tigers, talk a lot of NBA All-Star Weekend as well with Parish Sharkey. Since everyone feels like we need to fix the All-Star game.
Do we have to talk about the All-Star game, Anthony?
Yeah, we got to, man.
We have to.
We got Kenny Smith saying dumb shit. We got LeBron talking. It's a lot of stuff we got to talk about. So I'm going to have to get on with Parish Sharkey for sure to talk about some of that. A lot of stuff in the coaching world going on, man. Guys getting fired, guys shooting off on players shooting off on former coaches and current coaches, and there's a lot of stuff going on, man.
There's a lot of anger out there right now, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. And we got a great story I want to talk about, man, as far as involving the University of Memphis and a former player. But before we do that, Kenny Stubblefield, since the last time we talked, the University of Memphis Tigers have flat out gone to shit. Kenny Stubblefield. Man, it was wild, man. I joked about losing to North Texas, a.k.a. Hillcrest High School. Shout out to Coach Chris Adams over there doing a great job at Hillcrest. Losing to Hillcrest, and then you turn around and you lose to Westwood.
To Westwood.
About 30. On the big ESPN, not ESPN Plus, not even ESPN 2.
I need to do a straw poll with you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So people love to hold to your account like things you've been wrong about, right? Like they love to just tell you you've been wrong about this.
I get the Luka. I was wrong about Luka Doncic is what I get.
And then you've admitted you were wrong about Ant Edwards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who's one of my favorite players in the league now, by the way, yeah.
You've also said this Memphis team
is going to be good.
Which one were you most wrong about?
Oh, easily this Tiger team. Like, for real. Because I never said Luka was going to be bad. I just didn't think he was going to be, like, best player in the league.
The second coming of Magic Johnson and Penny Hardaway.
No, mixed with Larry Bird. Yeah, I was talking to Cam Rose one time. I used to do the Outsiders podcast. And he said Luka is like modern-day Larry Bird. I said, no, because, Bird wouldn't on the ball like that. He wouldn't. He was like, yeah, but if Larry Bird played today, he would have been this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess you're right when you put it that way because he would have adapted to being, that type of player. So, yeah, man, Luka is phenomenal. Luka was also kind of I talked about this before, like kind of a frustration thing because I was like, bro, like the people are literally saying this dude's floor is Penny Hardaway. And as a Memphian who grew up idolizing Penny Hardaway, that really got me going. And I was seeing like it was just all these just like random white people that all of a sudden had this
let us have our guy, man.
Yeah, fixation from this brother brother from the motherland.
The motherland. Slovenia.
Listen,
the motherland of Slovenia.
Don't get me wrong, Kenny. I don't have a problem with white people having a bias towards a white guy, but don't call it something other than that. Like we do the same thing with Tiger Woods but in the sport, we're the minority, which ain't many. In the sport, we're the minority. We're going to have that fixation towards that black guy. So
Are we still good on cricket? We have not cricket. Pickleball.
Yeah, I think y'all still got it.
We got pickleball.
I don't
still?
think it's any black dudes taking that over, man, at all. Speaking of black dudes taking shit over, man, shout out to my man, left hand to God, Danny Barlow, man.
Let's go, man.
Man, put somebody to sleep the other night for sure. My man Danny Barlow. We'll talk about that later on, another date, probably on that as far as Danny Barlow is concerned. But yeah, man, Luka Doncic, I get that a lot. Nobody really holds me to Anthony Edwards. I get a lot of just random like Ole Miss alum looking white guys that like constantly come at me about the whole Luka thing. But y'all will be all right. But yeah, thinking the Tigers are going to be good this year might be my Hall of Shame for sure, man. It might be.
It's gone into the power rankings.
Hey, it's number one for sure. Man, there was no way this team was supposed to be bad, man. Like the formula was there, and that's why today it really hurts, man. It pains to say these type of things. There are certain things I won't say, Kenny Stubblefield, because I won't put my mouth on Penny Hardaway. Pause. But
big pause.
Hey, yo, like edit that out.
This is episode 69. This is a freaky shit coming out.
But there are certain things that I just won't do. I just can't avoid the pauses. There are certain things I don't feel good talking about Penny Hardaway, man. And I'm a non-traditional media member, so I don't have to follow by any type of journalistic code or integrity or whatever. I don't really care. Welcome to 2024, where all that stuff really don't matter. So, you know, if you want to hear me talk bad about Penny, sorry, you're not going to get too much of that. But I will be real about Penny, as real as I can be about the whole thing. And it absolutely sucks to see this team, which is supposed to be better. This is Penny's most talented team, man. You've got, help me out on this type of stuff, Kenny. Javon Quinley, who I know was like one of the top point guards.
It's 5-star jelly fam in high school.
I don't even want to talk high school. Like he was like big.
Oh, okay. Journalist report. Yeah.
Yeah, like he was big at Alabama, right?
Starting point guard for two Sweet 16.
Right.
Two straight Sweet 16 teams.
Things like SEC, most valuable player. I mean, tournament, most valuable player or something like that.
I don't know if that's true, but
somebody said, I said something like that. I don't know. You know better than me, man. I'm listening to radio on the way in. I heard this type of stuff. You got David Jones, who was just a tremendous scorer. Took a big leap here. He's a better player now than he was at Seton Hall. What was he? Seton Hall, St. John's?
He was at DePaul, St. John's, and now Memphis.
Yeah. So you got a guy like that who's a good scorer there. He's been excellent this year. Tomlin was a great player at the school he came from. Jordan Brown was a tremendous big man at the school he was at.
Right.
And now we're like
nationally recognized.
Yeah, now we're acting like these dudes just forgot how to play basketball. Like, okay, man, like that I can't get behind it, bro. I can't get behind that these dudes just like, oh, these guys are just a bunch of losers and they don't know how to play. And it's like Penny's not getting nearly the criticism he probably should get for this stuff, but he never does. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I talked about this whole thing with Dylan Brooks, and I hate to compare Penny Hardaway to Dylan Brooks, right? But I talked about this whole thing last year with Dylan Brooks, how regardless of what he does on the court, and no matter how you look at Dylan, a big element of sports is the entertainment factor of sports. Like, we're watching sports to be entertained, right? Of course, you get the my team won, your team lost, you know, that type of stuff. But another big part of it is just the simple entertainment of it all. And watching Penny Hardaway pander to anyone who wants to receive his pandering has been incredible to watch the last few weeks, man. He's pulling out all the hot spots, man. All the buzzwords.
When you say pandering, what do you mean by that?
Penny knows how to work up this fan base and to keep this fan base on this side. And when I say this fan base, I mean, goddamn it, me. Because, man, I look up today, I get a press release from the University of Memphis saying that, dude, we talked about this, I think, on the last show.
100%.
We got, like, the Penny Hardaway University of Memphis gear dropped today.
Right.
I'm like, shit, Penny. Like,
the Nike and the 1 cent brand.
The Nike 1 cent University of Memphis gear dropped today. Only thing that would have been better if it was available on Nike.com, because if you're in Memphis, you know plenty of ninjas that got a swoosh account. So I'm not paying $70 for a sweatshirt. Sorry, Penny. I mean, but I'm glad you dropped it for sure. That type of stuff, passing out the tickets. He just knows the
pizza
buzz,
party,
the pizza party thing.
Yeah,
he just kind of knows how to work the people, man.
And then the biggest one,
What's it?
We ain't got kids that want to play for the city.
Oh yeah, they don't want to play for the city, man. They don't want to play for the city. I'll say this, man. I don't really. A lot of the guys who have had very good reason to play for the city, they ain't been good either. Like, just being real. Some of the Memphis kids that have came through here haven't been, the best players or whatever. But I don't really care about all that, man. Like I said, if you just play for the dude on the back and you're really good and you got pride in yourself and pride for the other guy's name on the back of his jersey, we'll be fine. I don't particularly care about kids playing for the city, man. But
when people say that, what does that mean?
When
people
mean
say that place,
it's a buzzword. It means absolutely nothing. Because like I said, the kids that have came through who have played for the city, y'all didn't want them either. So I don't know what it means. So I don't know. It doesn't mean much of nothing, just being real. But yeah, man, it's looking bad for Memphis, man. The FAU game this weekend was supposed to mean so much more, Ken. It was supposed to be the showdown of number 1, number 2 teams in the conference, and both of us are pretty ass.
Let me tell you something.
FAU is not at the top of the conference either.
Let me tell you something that's crazy about these next. They have, I think 5 games left in this season, in this regular season?
Yeah.
It is a very, very awkward place to be with a team where literally you could win all 5 games or you could lose all 5 games, and it means absolutely nothing.
Yep. You're gonna have to go in the tournament and win because they've got so many losses and bad losses in this conference, man. And it's like the thing, I talked to Jason Smith about this. I was on their show last Friday, and it feels so crazy, man, because you had it. You saw a Penny Hardaway coach team looking good, man. He had veteran players out there scoring. They were playing good defense. They were rebounding. You had great big men. You had good guard play. You had scorers. You had shooters. You had just dynamic scoring, David Jones. You were running through everybody on the schedule. You ran through 10 straight games. And now, man, you're losing to teams that you're flat out not supposed to be losing to at all, and definitely not by 30 points. You know what I mean? And it's like and I'm hearing Penny say things like journeyman and all that. Kendrick Davis was a journeyman, man. I mean, he was the same type of situation. Kid got an NIL bag, came to Memphis, one and done. You didn't see him anymore. Is anybody going to say that he was – that he, I know, and he did the pandering thing too. Like, man, I'm playing for the city. You're not. You're not. You don't really care about, but you care about the city of Memphis, man. You literally came here from another school, but it's really sad, man. And it's like you feel like Penny should be doing a better job, and Penny should be doing a better job than what he did with this team. But there are certain things that I'm not going to say, Kenny, but I'll let the rest of you say.
Can I ask you a question?
If you want
can
to.
I ask you a question?
You sure can.
To close this out, you can say, I don't want to answer it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
We know he should be doing a better job. Can he do a better job?
Yeah, that's another thing, too. I'm glad you said that because I was listening to somebody's podcast. I think it was Jason and John probably on the way in. And they were talking about it reminded me of all the criticism Penny got when he first got here. When people who just literally had a vendetta against Penny, right? The national guys, where you're talking about, the Jeff Goodmans or whoever you're talking about, all these guys had all these vendettas against Penny, just saying all these crazy things. He's an AAU coach. He's a high school coach. He's not supposed to be here, and all these type of things about Penny. I think that stuff affected him so bad, man, that he's really just trying to prove people wrong strictly on his own, though. Like, it's like to the point where it's like he's just determined to do things his way and to prove those critics wrong. Because there have been either people, resources, or just like, when I say people, I mean like coaches, players, whatever, et cetera, he's had that can help him. Or he's had just people who could just give him advice who he didn't use. You know what I mean? And there's certain things that Penny is just super stubborn about, man. He's going to play a lot of dudes. He's going to throw kids under the bus. That's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, man, like I'm wired to always take the side of the players. You know what I mean? I'm just wired that way. You know what I mean? I'm always going to want to get a coach up out of here. And it absolutely sucks that the guy who, if this was
anybody else,
this was Finney Hardaway, you know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody would be, it wouldn't even be a question. We'd be like, okay, you at least say, I wonder if this dude knows what he's doing, or I wonder if he's able to, take this team to the next level.
Right.
And like I said, in a vacuum, if you just say, okay, if you back it up and you say, okay, well, Penny's got better and better every season. They went to the tournament 2 straight years, all those type of things. That's good, you know what I mean? And if Penny gets let go or Penny's not here next year at the University of Memphis, nationally, it's going to be a weird story, right? Like, people are going to question why he's not here. But if you look at it under a microscope and you look at it in a vacuum at this particular season, for this season to start out the way that it has and for it to totally unravel, man, with the level of talent you have, it's bad, man. It's really no way you can look at it any different other than to say that, it's a failure. Now, am I saying they need to fire Penny? Am I saying that he needs to step down? I don't think we're there yet. Wouldn't be surprised if Penny's not the coach next year, being honest with you. But I think it is time for some hard conversations between people who care about their program and Penny. I don't know those people's names. You probably know every one of them, Kenny. I don't know. But it's probably a situation where you come and you say, you know what, Penny? We know we can't fire you. We know you have us by the balls. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
Like, we know that if you want to die as a coach of this team, you would die as a coach of this team. But, man, XYZ, it would be super dope if XYZ looked more like ABC. You know what I mean?
It would be.
If it didn't bother you too much.
It would be really cool if you would do this.
Right. If you just coach like, normal. You know?
like a normal head coach.
Right. If you didn't, like, maybe, like, after you get your first, second, and third score, maybe you didn't get your fourth and fifth. Like,
right. Well, maybe like in the Discord the other day, which has been incredibly intense the last few days.
Oh man, the Tiger joint been going on. I'm like, y'all ain't got shit to talk about.
Yeah,
but get your shit off about it. Yeah, I get it.
They've been getting their stuff off.
Oh, they're getting it off for sure.
But there was a bet going on in the Discord.
No disrespect one cent like that.
No, not a bet.
Nah, go ahead.
The bet was, will Penny over under more than 11 players before the 16-minute timeout?
Oh, and
immediate timeout.
He crushed the over.
He beat it by 12. He beat it by 1.
Right.
Played 12 players in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Oh, I got one more thing that Penny does to work up the crowd, man, to keep the people on his side.
Yeah.
Hashtag God got me.
God got me. That's all you gotta say. I've been praying.
God got me.
Well, listen, can I just kind of close this segment out and let's get to Parish. But I'll say this, man, as somebody who's kind of in tune with the program, I'll tell you this: if the only way Penny Hardaway's not the coach of this team next year is if he decides not to.
He decides not to be.
That's just
like they'll probably have a hard conversation with him, but it's not going to be like we about to get you up.
Yeah, like that's not going to happen. So I think that conversation probably needs to stop at this point. Like nobody's firing Penny this year,
and he ain't quitting this year.
No, and he's probably not quitting.
He's the mad scientist, like we said. He's like Dr. Strange. Yeah. He feels like I can go back and fix all of this. You know what I mean?
I will say this to,
and he probably can, man. Like it's like I said, he just had a couple too many dudes on his team. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's that.
He did, bro.
I think that's maybe 1/8 of the reasons why things
a lot
are
of them big
apart.
dudes, big dogs that were alphas on other teams. He should have went and found some guys who just gonna be dogs. And
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, fit matters, right?
Yeah.
But I'll say this I really do think it really does kind of, as a lifelong Memphian, as somebody who has covered this team for a while, who's been a fan of this team since I was a baby.
Right.
Like me and you've talked about, man, my first memories of Memphis basketball were watching Elliot Perry, right?
Yes,
like
sir.
just legendary in this city. The whole that you were talking about a few minutes ago, him pandering to Tiger fans and saying things like, playing for the city. And I would say this, I think it's time for Tiger fans to realize that playing for the city doesn't mean settling for mediocrity.
What do you mean?
You don't have to
kind of real Steven Adams-ish.
Like you can be very, you can demand greatness because the team should be great, and also at the same time say, like, these guys are playing for the city. Like a lot of times, I think Memphis fans struggle with this idea of playing for the city and the name on the front of the jersey and having pride in that. And then saying, well, if they're playing for the city, then it doesn't matter that they've lost 6 out of 9 games, right? Like 4 games in a row, then losing 2. Like, as long as they're playing for the city and they represent the city, I think it's okay. we can have these conversations about demanding more and demanding greatness out of someone who legitimately has been great at everything he's ever done in his life. Right?
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're saying that I kind of get what you're saying. That. Like Penny needs to start coaching for the city. Basically, is what
be great because this city is great.
Mm-hmm.
Be great. Like
Right.
we don't have to settle for mediocrity anymore. We're not we're nobody's redheaded stepchild. We're not Nashville's redheaded stepchild. We're not bottom of the barrel like Memphians feel like in a lot of ways.
Right.
Memphis is kind of constantly degraded and downgraded, and the reputation is negative and sullied and all those kind of things. We can demand greatness because this city is great.
Yeah.
And so having these hard conversations about Penny is not hating on Penny or betraying the city. It's demanding greatness from literally the greatest person
to ever pick up a basketball
from the city. So that's my last point.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I see where you're going. But it's tough times for sure, man. We pretty much see how this season's going to play out, pretty much. Like I said, man, I think Penny may have over-recruited a little bit when you got guys who all feel like they should be the dude or they're okay with winning as long as they get the credit for winning or whatever. But hope he figures that whole thing out. He's going to go back to the well again this summer, and we'll see what he comes out with for sure, man. But I'm about to get out of the way, man. My man Parish Sharkey is about to join us for the Sit Down with Sain. We'll see you with Parish here in a minute back on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
It's an opportunity to kind of gain an idea of just how resourceful and creative this front office is. The Steven Adams trade reminds us of, in my opinion, just how resourceful and well thought through the moves that the Grizzlies make are when it comes to this front office. And the Killian Hayes rumor is exactly that. I think that it's fair to assume that the Grizzlies' interest in Killian Hayes and the interest that rival executives have when it comes to Zaire Williams and Jake LaRavia, those two things are connected. Killian Hayes, the name, is not the point of this potential deal. The Grizzlies' interest in Killian Hayes is, in my opinion, probably not for Killian Hayes to player. But what is of value when it comes to Killian Hayes is that expiring contract.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with Mark King and Lute Hatmaker at 1 p.m. every Monday through Friday live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I definitely
if
see
you
it.
mixed and matched those guys, you'd
I
have
wonder.
one slow, immovable object,
Right.
Yeah.
one fast guy who
athletic.
can switch on the defensive end, has maybe a deeper offensive bag.
Right.
But now you're playing.
The 2 and 2.
All right, I'm not calling them fat, but you're playing. You're skinny and fast, fat and slow.
Yeah.
and
Together.
yeah, like separately. Those
Right.
guys are not mixing
The
and
same
matching
skill
at all.
sets are playing
It's
together.
strange. It's Jordan and Malcolm didn't spend a whole bunch of time on the floor together, though.
Hey,
He cannot get up and down the floor
No,
well enough for this
no.
team to be like a game-to-game,
No,
like
contributor.
consistent contributor. Just the more you see him out there, even when he played in good, meaningful minutes against Tulane, you're
It's
like,
like, this
that's not something that you can just consistently do.
This was never really a fit.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
But like watching him develop into what he was, and I mean, forever will be etched in my mind the night that Dylan and Shannon Sharp and T got into it, and Shannon was talking big in his cardigan until Steve-O walked over there, and all of a sudden Shannon wasn't so big no more.
It's the only time I've ever seen Steven Adams pull his hair out of the bun.
Right, like he was finna throw some hands, and Shannon
Yeah.
Sharp wanted none of that smoke. He was ducking
That-
all that smoke.
That and Tony Bradley, him carrying a 7-foot Tony
Yes.
Bradley away
Picking
from
him
John
up.
Morant. You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
love me some Steven Adams for that. But like, Drew, we've hit on second round picks. So if we keep these second round picks, like we've hit on those much better than we have on lottery. Not Tripp and
Yeah.
Ja notwithstanding.
Right.
But we took in picks for this year as well as next year. Also,
2 for
last
24,
night,
1 for 25.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Friday at 3 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Time for the sit down with Sain. Got my man Parish Sharkey, beat writer for Bluff City Media, covering your Memphis Grizzlies. He's here each and every Wednesday. We have a very relaxed, just sit down talking shit episode.
Fresh back from Dallas,
Fresh
man.
out of Dallas, man.
Not the SMU game.
No
though.
SMU
No,
game.
sir.
We ain't got time
I
for
went
that,
to Dallas for a trip. and
Big
I pulled
business
up.
type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Parish, when are you gonna like? Do you own the city yet? Are you like you own Memphis yet? Like you're kind of involved in everything,
Yeah, bro. You be coming in on some big time projects, man.
That's all I do. I be on a little bit of everything, but hey, that's the plan.
Hey.
Hopefully one day.
Yeah, man. A future. What's that mayor? What's the dude?
I ain't trying to be no married now.
Now, what's that? Not the
Yeah.
mayor. What's the person who's like? Damn, I can't think of what I'm trying to say.
You know how there's like a global Illuminati?
yeah.
Parish is going to be the head of the
uh-huh.
Memphis chapter of the Illuminati.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever Paul Young was before he was the mayor, that's what Parish gonna be.
Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, he gonna be. Yeah, he gonna be that
Downtown
dude.
Commissioner.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah. Commissioner Sharkey in the building. But yeah, man, we were talking about University of Memphis, and I was in there avoiding Penny Hardaway criticism at all costs.
Boy, that folk been hard.
Man, because it's crazy, man. Because like you said, you have to call a spade,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna act like what I'm seeing is a good coaching job. It's a horrible coaching job we've seen this year by Penny, man. But it's so hard to criticism for sure. And another thing I forgot to leave out, man. We talked about this during the break before you came on. Is that Penny's been on this thing the last few weeks where it's like he's saying, yeah, man, like, there's guys who they've been on the bullshit all year long. And I'm like, bro, if that's the case, if
Don't
you would
play 'em.
identify these dudes, like you know exactly who the problem is, like.
Right.
Why are they still around? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that whole thing is really bothers me. Like I know you just can't boot dudes off the team or whatever, right? But what I'm saying is, like, why haven't we seen the actual let the bench punish them type game? You know,
Right.
like, come sit by me, like, and then we can say, oh, okay, this dude's been on some bullshit. You know what I mean? So that whole thing with Penny is really tripping me out. It's more than anything.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah,
real
go
quick
ahead,
about this? I'm gonna lay out of this, but I just want to ask y'all, and because I want to hear Parish's thoughts on this too. But Penny said after the game against SMU, which was legitimately probably the first time I think in my college basketball watching that I've seen a team just absolutely quit in the middle of a game. They quit in that game. Penny came out afterwards and he said that he told the media that Jason Munns and Parth were the only ones that were there. They travel with the team all the time. But he said to him, "You guys have to stop thinking that this is the same team as I had at the beginning of the year when they were 15-2 going into the conference, right? This is not the same team. Jordan Brown is back. We added Naquan. Caleb Mills lost to injury. My thought process is those were all outside of the Caleb Mills injury, which you can't help. Those are all your decisions. What are your thoughts? Am I like? Are we supposed to feel sorry for him?
No,
in
I'm
that
not,
regard.
I'm not buying into that, man. Like the whole two different teams thing. Like, come on, man.
And
like,
it's a worse schedule.
yeah,
Your
like,
non-conference schedule
yeah,
was
you're playing
tough, more
bum
tough.
ass teams, bro. Like, you're
Right.
supposed to be beating these dudes. Like, Penny's got to stop all that type of stuff, man. But we joked about how Penny's on the Lex Express tour. I might be dating myself. I might be going over your head, whatever. But Penny's definitely campaigning, man, because he's got the city in the chokehold, like, for real. And I'm one of the people he's got in the chokehold. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say freaking fire Penny Hardaway. Like, that ain't coming out of my mouth, man. So it's really a wild place to be. Speaking of wild place to be, man, I'm on Twitter and I'm seeing people talking about Steven Adams.
Nah, I'm seeing your AI. Steve Adams.
How crazy was that, Parish?
Hey, it wouldn't. I knew I couldn't say Steven Adams, right? Because it was gonna flag it. So I said, put tall, strong man with long hair and a beard in a Memphis Grizzlies jersey, looking down on poor people. That's what I put in. And it came out exactly like I wanted it to look, man. It came out as a
The first
Steven
time,
Adams.
or did you have to get them to redo it?
It nailed it. It nailed it. Yeah. At first, it was showing people that weren't black. Memphis is a black city, so I was like, "No, that ain't really." So, but that one kind of hit, how I wanted to do. And the first time I did it, it was kind of saying like, no, it didn't come through the first time. The first time it was, it showed Steven Adams like begging the poor people for money. Like he got confused in what I was trying to say. But I said the second time I put disgusted by poor people, and he had him looking mad in the middle of the hood.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'll get this out of the way. This whole Steven Adams thing. I don't really want to talk about this, to be honest with you, because it's so ridiculous.
It's random as hell.
Right, it's random as hell. First of all, do I think that it's possible that Steven Adams in a candid conversation has some not so favorable things to say about the city of Memphis? Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's not really saying nothing.
Memphians.
Right. Memphians have not so favorable things to say about Memphis in candid and public conversations. So so I'm sure if he was asked and he was like, all right, man, well, how you feel about getting traded? Oh, man, get me out of this shit. I don't doubt that happened, man. And it's pretty funny stuff. He didn't say, if he said it publicly in the interview, it was like confirmed, yeah, he said that I would have a real opinion of it. Yeah. Other than that, it's just some pretty funny shit to see on Twitter. But dope shit to see on Twitter is Brandon Clark dunking and shit again and looking better than he's looked in any of the videos to me, man. I'm excited to see what Brandon Clark looks like. I've got some takes that I'm kind of holding to myself because I kind of know where the fan base is. I know they don't agree with me on this, but I really think that the Grizzlies have plans. You're going to see a lot of Jaren and Brandon Clark.
Oh, of course.
And I don't think there's going to be your starting lineup, but you're going to see a lot of that. And I think that they want to see what that looks like for the rest of the season, especially if Clark can go, if he's healthy. I think they want to see what that looks like. And I'm not saying they're going to do that because they think that Jaren can be the starting 5 and BC can be the starting 4. But I think they know that numbers say that lineup is really good.
Yeah.
So I think
they just finished games with that lineup.
Yeah, that was the lineup. They got a lot of teams up out of here with that lineup, plus John Morant. So I'm really excited to see Brandon Clark back. Like he's a guy throughout this whole grit and grind era. It's just something magical about, because I remember my first season covering, like having a full-time job in journalism, covering that team with rookie John Morant, rookie Brandon Clark, second year Jaren Jackson Jr., seeing all three of them go to the All-Star weekend. Like I remember the vibes and the energy behind that. And it just feels like when BC gets back, man, it'll feel the way it's supposed to. It'll feel the way it's supposed to feel, man, for sure. So I'm excited about that. Now I've got this is a take that I really think people are not gonna agree with. And I'm gonna see where you at with this as well. I'm hearing people when they talk about the draft, right? They're like, if we win the draft, you draft Sarr, he's this big man, 7'1", and people are acting like you would trade that pick. You have lost your mind. Like I don't care. That dude, like I think he averages like 7 to 8 rebounds a game. He's 7'1", super athletic. Like no, dude, I'm drafting that dude. I don't care what y'all are talking about. But you hear people say I hope we get number 1 so we can get him. People saying, well, trade down to go get Filipowski or whatever dude you clinging or whatever dude. And there are people saying just trade the pick altogether.
Yeah.
I am of the mind of if there are people saying, okay, trade that pick for a center who can play right now, right? And my thing is, yeah, you can do that, but if you're looking at like what the best option may be, the best way to get a center on this team would involve a trade, in my opinion. But I think there are more guys that are like signing trade options that make more sense than guys who are on a roster on the contract, if that makes any sense. Because if I'm looking at like a Nick Claxton, right?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent this year, right? And then you got, what's my guy? The white black guy.
Hardenstein.
Hardenstein, right? If I had a power ranking of who I want to be my starting center next year, those are my 2 dudes, 1 and 2, right? Yeah. And I'm like, those are sign and trade guys that you still can go to the podium and make your draft pick because you're not going to give anybody.
Yeah, you ain't getting no one trade.
There's no reason in the world to give anybody that pick in a sign and trade, right? So I'm like, okay, I see the Grizzlies. I see the Grizzlies not only taking their pick, but not taking the center. I see them taking whoever the best player available.
Yep.
And I think that's what you should do anyway. You know what I mean?
Dillingham.
Yeah, that kid Dillingham or one of these wings, man. Hey, you can never have enough wings, man.
No, look at the Clippers.
Right, because I'm hearing people say things like, "Look at Brooklyn, the dudes they got." Like those dudes, either as a guy on your team or as a tradable commodity for another team.
Yep.
You need to have as many of those as possible, man. And like I said, I don't think that it's kind of been a common thought that it's like, okay, either the Grizzlies going to draft a Filipowski and kind of play him with either a free agent we sign or just have him with Jaren and BC or, whatever, and do that and kind of get him ready to be the center. Or I'm not there, though, man. I think the Grizzlies are going to take the best player available and try to get a center through a sign and trade type situation. Because, like I said, if I've got my choice, man, those are my two dudes. If I got my if I could just, like, take a guy and put him on this team out of a realistic target. So where are you at as far as it goes?
Man, it's open season right now, right? So my whole thing is I'm waiting to see what pick we actually get.
Yeah.
I'm still the mind of more so seek trades, but it's tricky because
I don't want. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
They shed salary to stay under the first apron or whatever.
Stay in the first apron.
And you think about, like, I saw Nick Claston's projected $20 million a year. I'm like, are you really gonna try and add him at $20 million and you paying this and bank? That's like, it's like at some point you might be better off going the cheaper route of Andre Drummond or even Hartenstein, because I thought he cost that much. Or if you do get Nick Claston, somebody's salary, Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, somebody else big contract going to have to go for you to have all these big salaries. But what does help you is you got Gigi and Vince on very small deals.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps you going forward with that. But it's kind of open season. In my opinion, I'm just kind of waiting for the pick to be announced. Then after that, see who's available. It's like if like Mikal Bridges decides he wants to demand a trade, start thinking once that happens. But other than that, I'm kind of just like, let's see where we finish the end of the season. Let's see where the pick lands. And then I probably think more on like, okay, this is what they should do with it.
Because I'm looking at this New York situation with Mitchell Robinson supposed to be coming back, right? I'm like, okay, if they get Mitchell Robinson back and he looks good, he's good. They're good in the playoffs with him. Hartenstein's like, all right, man, I've shown y'all I can be a starting center. If he wants out, like, if you try to go somewhere and start and compete, like this is where you need to go. It's like, okay, we'll do $15 million. We'll opt in Luke Kennard and we'll
trade them. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you know what I mean? Like that seems like open and shut case. You know what I mean?
Case, draft Rod Dillon.
Draft whoever, bro. Whoever you think the best player is. You know what I mean? So, like that's how I'm thinking as far as all this concerned. A lot of talk about All-Star Weekend, right? Kenny Smith saying ridiculous stuff per usual.
He said that pre-All-Star Weekend after the Grizzlies game. Talking about the folks when they make UConn with them been getting up with the Grizzlies, And
it's like I'm like Kenny Smith. Like if this lady went out there and got her ass smacked by Steph Curry, I could understand you saying she just lost. That's all that happened. She lost. She didn't look bad at all.
And she shot for NBA rank.
Right, and her score looked better than a lot of the dudes that were in the big contest or whatever, right? You're talking about one of the greatest shooters of all time, bro. You know what I mean? It's not like some lady they found, some high school player to go against Steph. Like, she's one of the greatest shooters of all time, you know what I mean? And it's just a totally ignorant, comment by him altogether.
And he doubled down on it, I believe.
He went on somebody else's show, and I'm like, dude, just stop, man. Like, and it's all just, just crazy talk, for sure. Not Jordan Brown, Jaylen Brown. Okay.
So I watched bits and pieces of the contest, but I already know what you're talking about.
He jumped over a 2-foot dude.
And sitting down.
I commend him for getting out there representing
the All-Stars.
Right. And like I said on Twitter, man, like, everybody went crazy this summer when the USA basketball team did not come away with the win, in the FIBA, right? And they're like, oh, they need to bring in, the Avengers, LeBron and them, KD and Steph, whoever, right? All right. I will take another B team going to to the Olympics if it means we could get Matt McClung ass up out of here, man. Because I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah, Black History Month.
Like, bro, get this dude. Like,
I'm sick of it.
Like, bro, we threw out shout out to Obi Toppin's brother, who I didn't even know was a thing.
Man, I can't believe you just
his
glossed
name,
over
though?
that, Anthony. Did you hear what Parish just said?
What did he say?
He's talking about Matt McClung, Black History Month, winning
Yeah.
2 straight
Back,
slams.
man.
Like, bro, I'm
That's
out,
like it.
man.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
Like,
That's
get
it,
your little
man.
ugly ass out of here, bro. Like enough of Matt McClung, bro. It was kind of cool last year, but they just milked it a little bit too much. But I'm like, bro, get this dude out of here,
Give
bro.
me Lamar Stevens in this dunk contest, man.
Somebody, bro. and here's what bro. If I were a betting man, I'm gonna put y'all into the future. John Morant will be in the slam dunk contest next year. Like, if Nike is smart,
Yep.
and if he's smart, they're gonna get together, and this is gonna be something that can totally rehab. They can rehab his image.
Hey, you listening to No Bluffing yet?
Nah, what they say?
Man, so Chris, man, shout out to Chris Ingram, right?
Yeah, shout out to Chris.
Him and shout out to Evan, man. Both of them.
And make sure y'all check out the spaces today at 6 o'clock. You're listening on Wednesday. Today at 6 o'clock. Bluff City Media is getting off into the spaces world, hosted by Chris Ingram and some of the guys from Bluff City Media. But go ahead, Perry.
For sure. So the scenario he came up with, and that was a fast scenario. He basically said Nike put in some money for Ja.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Zion with? Jordan.
Jordan.
Put in some money for him. Anthony Edwards with Adidas. Put in some money for him.
Yep.
And another shoe, somebody else with another shoe company that's a good dunker.
G.G. Jackson and Bobos.
Basically, put in some money, put a
Jonathan Isaac and the Holy Rollers.
Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah, man can't stay healthy.
Austin Reeves and the AR-17s. Whatever they're called.
But basically, they all put their money in the pot, well, over $3 million each, $12 million total, and the winner of the dunk contest win the whole pot.
Let the shoe companies get involved.
Yep.
That'll be nasty. Anthony Edwards, Zion, Ja.
I can think of a fourth person that got a different. That's a dunker.
Put Kawhi in there. Puma.
Puma in that joint.
Kawhi ain't getting
Big baller brand. Lonzo.
Put Lonzo in there.
Oh man, hey, that's dope though. But I really think Nike is gonna. Now, I love that idea, just in theory of it. But I don't think Nike is gonna get behind nothing that they might lose.
Yeah.
But if they would have 2 guys in it though, because you would have that's Jordan's Nike.
Jordan's Nike.
Yeah, I think if Nike does it, they're gonna set it up where Ja looks like. But they might try to get a Zion to try to get.
You need somebody. It
somebody
can't just be Ja and that's
yeah.
it. You got to be.
Yeah. But here's the thing that kills me too, man. And we'll talk about just wild stuff people are saying. I want to say Stephen A. Smith said that, like, it's LeBron's fault. Like, bro, a lot of stars came in the NBA after LeBron and chose not to be in the slam dunk contest. Like, trying to blame it on LeBron is wild, man. Like, LeBron was a rookie 25 years ago, something like that. You know what I mean? So
I get it. I ain't gonna necessarily just blame LeBron for everything, but I guess you could say he started the wave.
But why did we want to see LeBron could like dunk hard? Like he would dunk on dudes, he would dunk with force.
But I think it was the fact that like we saw if you were comparing to Kobe, MJ, they all went in at a young age. And LeBron,
but they had a flair to their dunking
did,
though. Like
but-
there's nothing about LeBron dunking I want to see in a slam dunk contest.
And one time LeBron had committed to it. I remember one year he was doing the dunk contest. He was like, "Yeah, I'm being the next year," and then he never did it.
He never did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not
But to
gonna
your
blame
point, though,
him for that.
I never. It wasn't. Yeah.
Derrick
He
Rose
just
didn't
started
do
dunking.
it. I mean,
But Derrick Rose started getting hurt. I don't think he.
right. It's yeah, man. But yeah, I would be shocked if Ja didn't do it next year. Like if Nike is smart, they'll use that as a way to kind of make All-Star Saturday night Ja Morant's. And they should save whatever the Ja 2 is and debut that joint All-Star Saturday night in the slam dunk contest.
Yep. Perfect.
There it is. We just fix it for you. And I've seen people complaining about the All-Star game and talking about why don't they just get rid of the game altogether and just no, bro. This is what somebody else said too. I was listening to my man Jason Smith. I've been listening to Jason all day today. Shout out to Jason Smith. He was talking with Jessica Benson, and it was like, would you feel a way if these players that are already millionaires got paid more money as an incentive, some type of incentive for the All-Star game, right? And I'm like, why would we feel a way about that? This is the same NBA who's about to make the NBA draft another night to make money. Made this in-season tournament, which was to make TV money. You know what I mean? You had a bubble in the middle of the pandemic to make TV money. Like, why am I mad about the players getting another piece of this? Like, they're not They're not going to end the All-Star game. They've got your eyes for 3 nights, right?
Right.
3 nights. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
They're not going to lose a night because there's a handful of people that are complaining about the All-Star game. Because guess what? People watch the All-Star game.
Yep.
And it's never been like, I don't remember the NBA All-Star game ever being this competitive thing where it's like guys are going hard at each other. Like
Not the whole game.
saw
Like
instances.
the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, the last 5 minutes of games, guys start going at each other. I think the thing now is that these guys are freaking aliens on the court at this point. So they look so weird when like nobody's guarding them. They're just out there just doing shit. You know what I mean?
Then I also think that the Dwayne Wade injury, 10 years ago, Dwayne Wade got hurt during the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Since then, you could tell it's been kind
The
of
dude's been screwing around. Yeah. And it's like, man, you see like back in the day, you had like Larry Nance who's in the All-Star game, right? Like your typical power forward is like Bam Adebayo and Jaren Jackson Jr. who can dribble, pass, and shoot.
Yep.
So it's like those guys, if you're not guarding these dudes, it's gonna look ridiculous because you got guys like Karl-Anthony Towns. If you're not gonna guard me, I can go out here and score 50. Or I can shoot 10 threes or all. You know, it's these guys are such aliens on the court. When they're not playing defense, it looks crazy. But I got an idea I'm gonna throw out to you, Parish Sharkey. I threw this out to Kenny Stubblefield. If y'all really want to fix the NBA All-Star game, right? I got a way to fix it, right? If it's that unwatchable, which it is, because I don't watch the shit.
I didn't watch it at all.
You know what I mean? So it's unwatchable. I give you that. But I don't really care. I don't think you need to really mess with it. But if you want to fix it, I threw out an idea joking the other day about just go lean in and make it like Rucker Park. Mic everybody up. Let them talk shit. Interview dudes in the middle of the game. Just make it goofy, right? You could do that. But if you want to make it look serious, I got an idea for that too. You know, you got your All-Star Game MVP, right? Damian Lillard was it. For the first time ever, have a NBA All-Star Game defensive player of the game. And have a cash prize behind it. Right? You get 4 or 5 dudes out there who going hard on defense. Everybody else gonna start playing defense too, bro.
Yep.
Especially if there's like make it for $2 million. You win this and make no money for winning the MVP, but a $2 million cash prize if you win Defensive Player of the Year, Player of the Game. Dude's gonna go hard.
Yeah,
they're gonna go hard. They're gonna go hard. Like I ain't saying it's gonna like a regular game, but you'll have at least 5 to 6 dudes who going hard for that award, and it's gonna be kind of contagious because you got dudes out there playing.
Kyle Lowry gonna be mad because he used to go hard
for nothing. Right. Poor Jaren Jackson Jr. Got to get him back in that joint. You got to get Jaren back in it. He can get that $2 million. But yeah, man, like I just think it's all just dumb. Like, and another thing too, people have to understand. People may totally disagree with me on this, but I'll stand on this. All-Star Weekend stops being for you when you're like in your mid-20s. Like it's always been for kids. Preteens, teenagers, young adults. And they kind of still get into it. Like, it's still pretty cool to them. Like, it really ain't for us no more. You know what I mean? Somebody watching this shit, bro, because it's been going on all my life. I remember being like 18, 19, wanting to see Penny in the All-Star game. And I saw Penny do a couple cool things. I was like, all right, I've seen enough. I'm good. And when Ja's been in there.
That's the last I cared. Like, Ja and Jaren. This year was like, okay, nobody there. So.
Yeah, Zebo's in there, cool. Let's watch it. Marcus all cool, whatever. But
I only tuned in Friday night just to see Vince.
Yeah, I've never watched the whole thing. I saw Vince sit his ass down, and I was done on it.
I heard Stephen A. broke his ankle before the celebrity game. Didn't worry about watching it.
Yeah, it's like I'm done on all of it, man. I'm done on all of it for sure. Are you buying that LeBron doesn't know what he's gonna do? But he's gonna announce his retirement. Like LeBron,
I wish I had a cap right now. We got no cap, don't worry.
Like you know exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna leave out, and it's gonna be the farewell tour for sure. You're not gonna pull a Tim Duncan. And the fact that we even talking about it, you know that he's not doing that. He's gonna go out. He's like, well, I'm the type of dude, man. I never wanted to have praise thrown on me like LeBron.
You might go have a whole documentary following it last year.
What if somebody say, man, you got chosen one tattooed on your chest?
Exactly, bro. LeBron go have like a fan meet and greets between every quarter, man, for real. Like he could be the halftime show. It's just playing LeBron clips. Grizzlies versus Lakers are gonna have a LeBron tribute at halftime. Yeah, man, LeBron, stop it, man. We know what you're gonna do for sure. Man. But yeah, man, my man Parish Sharkey, man, he's here each and every week. We about to jump to this 3-pointer. Got a lot of stuff to talk about as far as that goes as well.
Always.
We'll see y'all for that after the break, y'all. We'll see you in a minute.
Look, at the end of the day, this is all Penny's fault. More or less. I mean, yeah. Right? I mean, he composes the roster. He helps build the culture. And is he going to hold himself accountable, and is he going to figure out a way to fix it? It's a good question. You got, 6 weeks left in the season for Selection Sunday? 5 or 6 weeks?
This has been a common theme throughout his entire career at Memphis. Is chemistry issues, whether it's been with 5 freshmen, whether it's been with a healthy mix of freshmen and veteran, or whether it's been a team full of veterans.
I mean, there's no doubt. We said it going into the year. This is absolutely by far and large the most talented team that he's had. I guess the 21 team would give this team a run for its money, but I would say this is the worst team that he has had.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The next 2 years, if they can find a roster that works with those guys making the money they make, they'll have 2 legitimate shots at titles, I think, for 2 years. And now after that, you figure out what you're going to figure out. Jaren's going to come up again and his money's going to be more. Maybe that's the point where you've got to break it up. This trade deadline and this offseason, acquiring some pieces that make sense for you, not development guys, not drafting guys, acquiring pieces and guys on favorable contracts that fit into your system, that finish those last little bits around the edges that you need. And that's, I think, why the next 2 years are so important. I think that's why the trade deadline is so important, as well as the offseason, because they've got to find pieces that work. They cannot develop guys. They're done with that. They can't be doing that anymore.
Time is done.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with Mark King and Lute Hatmaker at 1 p.m. every Monday through Friday, live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Let's call it what it is. This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
This is 100% embarrassing. This is a team that had 4 wins against top 25 opponents. They look like one of the better teams in the country. The wheels have completely fallen off.
I had to change a channel.
Yeah.
Because not only was it embarrassing, it's so hard to watch this team play basketball right now.
Yeah, it's ugly.
I put out a tweet, and I swear I stand by this. I said, if you're not insane from watching this team play basketball, you're beating the odds. Penny Hardaway, it's like, okay, he understands the city. He understands recruiting. He understands this program. He's going to build this program. And I find myself truly questioning if Penny Hardaway is a program builder.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to That's Insane Show. It's time for the 3-pointer with my man, Parish Sharkey, who joins me each and every Wednesday, man. I just can't stop thinking about this Steven Adams stuff, man. It's just such a wild-ass story, man. Get me out of here. All they do is eat wings and barbecue, man.
That's the reason that man was never on the sidelines. It might show he showed the pull back up.
The folks like, oh,
maybe at the post in Chicago.
Folks, oh, Steven Adams love Memphis. Man, they been here 9 months.
It might pulled up in Chicago.
Right. Last time we saw Steven Adams, it was at the West Clinic. We seen his ass.
Open practice.
Clearly, Steven Adams doesn't play for the city, man. That's what I'm,
Hey, we need Grizzlies that play for the city. They got the play for the name on the front of the jersey. That's what we need.
We don't need no more city teams.
Man, I don't care who you play for. If you good, just go out there and hoop, man. I don't think G.G. Jackson is like going hard because he's like loves being a Memphian. Like I don't really care. I don't care, man. Like just go hoop, bro. Oh man, that Steven Adams stuff is funny though, for real. I just keep like imagining like how he sounds in the room, like if he's getting this shit off. Oh man. All right. The 3-pointer, where we're talking about 3 things going on in the world of sports, man. A lot of coach shit going on. My boy Jacques Vaughan, man, just can't get right, man. They doing my boy wrong.
They did him wrong multiple times. This is the
Yeah, man. Jacques Vaughan, if the Brooklyn Nets offered me anything, no, F y'all. I'm
He
good.
should have dipped when he
should have
led to him as a coach.
He
and they
should have
made
went
him
somewhere
an
else.
assistant. I don't know why he stayed.
But let's talk about their timeline as well. Jacques Vaughan was the coach of the team. I want to say Kyrie was on the team, but he got hurt, right? And so the team still made it to the bubble, led by
made to the playoffs.
led by Karis LeVert in the bubble, right?
LeVert.
Made the playoffs, right? With Jacques Vaughan as the coach. Memphis
and Jeremiah Martin was on that team.
Yes. University of Memphis alum Jeremiah Martin was on that team.
Playing for the city, baby.
Right. Playing for the city, man.
Bubble, boy.
Playing for Brooklyn.
Nah, dude. He played for the city, man. He played
He
for
was in Orlando.
Yeah.
Penny Old Stomping Grounds.
Oh man. So then they get KD that summer. They
already had him, but he was already out for the season.
Right. Who?
KD. Him and Kyrie signed together, but he had tore his Achilles.
Not with Jacques Vaughan as the coach, though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bubble year, KD was on the team.
Because they got rid of what's his name. They got rid of what's his name. Who was the coach before? Jacques took over. Yeah,
Atkinson.
Atkinson.
Yeah.
Sure the hell was, bro. So they got KD and Kyrie back, right?
They got Steve Nash in there.
They got Jacques Vaughan up out of there, bro. Steve Nash, you had no clue what he was doing, right?
Demoted Jacques Vaughan more so.
Yeah,
He stayed.
and he brought him in as an assistant coach, basically the coach with this coach that you brought in who can't coach, right? So then when you realize this guy can't coach, you get rid of Steve Nash, you give Jacques Vaughan back the team. He still don't have Kyrie and KD.
And you trade everybody away.
You trade everybody away.
Yep.
You got a team full of 3
you get Ben Simmons back in that deal for James Harden, right? You got nothing but a bunch of wings on the team. You're trying to build around Miles Bridges. Mikal Bridges. Who's my man? That's my guy.
I forgot Ben Simmons was on the team.
Right.
Man, come on, man.
You turn down like the Memphis Grizzlies offering you 4 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Like, so that shows you how committed you were to that dude. Team structure doesn't make any sense. Ain't nothing but a bunch of wings on the team. Nothing but wings, right? So you fire. Yes, Jacques Vaughan may have lost his team. They might just be like, okay, we quit, whatever. But bro, Jacques Vaughan ain't the reason why that roster the way it is, man. totally jacked up to see my boy Jacques Vaughan get fired, man. Another brother getting scapegoated out here for sure.
I said this to you on the phone when this whole thing came out. I said there are always like examples that you can see in all sports, NFL specifically. They have the Rooney Rule, right, where you can tell that teams are actively they had to put a rule in place to make sure that black men of color, whoever it may be, got the opportunity to at least interview for a position.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Rooney Rule, but I get where you're going.
But I would say the Jacques Vaughan situation is the most egregious.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
Egregious. Hiring Steve Nash over Jacques Vaughan might have been. I mean, just absolutely in every way was a failure as an organization.
Yeah,
it makes me so mad.
He should have had that team with Kyrie, Kevin Durant.
Because as soon as they fired
James
Steve Nash and he got to coach him, then that's when Kyrie and KD asked for the trade. And all that.
Yeah, and that dude is like super positive, super inspirational, man. He was really there for Kyrie when all this stuff was going on with Kyrie and the controversy he had. I just like him as a coach, man. If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, go hire that dude. I ain't saying fire Taylor Jenkins, but get that dude on your bench, man. I think Jacques Vaughn's a really good talent. Number 2, man, we got 3 coaching situations. I'm gonna pile into one. Rick Pitino just out there saying crazy shit. Have you seen what he said?
I heard
totally throwing his players under the bus, saying names, saying this kid's sorry. I don't know if you ever seen the Preacher video, Kenny. I don't know if you ever seen it. You seen the video where the guy was like, the preacher, pastor, going off on his members in the church.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you're the sorriest member I got.
You're the sorriest member I got.
I'm supposed to marry you next week.
Yeah. You can't even come to church.
Dang.
Hey, you back there in the media room.
That's rough.
You're trying to subvert the kingdom of God.
Right. You're trying to create your own little kingdom in the media.
that is
I told your mother. I told your mother.
That's rough.
If she don't deal with you, you're just producing a nice little worldly. And you never seen it? I gotta see the video.
You didn't see me that.
All right, but that's the vibe that Rick Pitino was on. He just went off on the whole roster, right? Like all these dudes are bums. The facilities suck.
And he at St. John's.
He said it's the least enjoyable season of basketball he's ever had.
Like, bro, like you had a season of basketball where you were like caught screwing women in a Chinese restaurant.
Right. You had a season of basketball where half of your college assistant coaches got sent to jail. Like, get out of my face, man. Like, come on.
Oh man. So yeah, Rick Pitino out there going crazy. That's the first coach going crazy, man. Number 2, man, George Call, man, just a real hating ass dude. Hey, this stuff with him and Carmelo Anthony is crazy, bro. Hey, first of all, shout out to Carmelo Anthony. Hey, I'm a big fan of the whole NBA player with like lifestyle podcaster, funny dude thing. Like I'm a big fan of it. But this project, Playoff P podcast or whatever they call, whatever name.
It's not Playoff P. It's Podcast P.
Podcast P.
I'm a big. I like Gil Arenas.
Yeah, Gil Arenas joined us off the chain. Hey, Zach Randolph, if you need your boy, man.
Hey, low key, one of the best one I think is the Pat Bev podcast. I think that one is so good.
All of them joints is fire, bro. And this joint, Carmelo Anthony and my boy Murrow from Deezus and Murrow. I didn't know there was a thing until this week. It might be a new show, but that joint looked fire, bro. Carmelo Anthony is going off about George Karl, which made Kenyon Martin start going off about George Karl. George Karl, just a super petty dude, man. Just a weirdo. Like, and he has had problems with his star players everywhere he's gone.
Yeah.
And Carmelo Anthony is like, you know why that dude's got problems with star players? He played with George Gervin. George Gervin, like, was a star player. He didn't like George Gervin. And he's, like, made everybody he's played for that's a star player have to deal with old shit from him and George Gervin. You know what I mean? He basically, that's what Carmelo said. Carmelo said that George Karl's first, he came there in the middle of the season, right? He said that George Karl came to them, was like, told him, man, I think you're overrated, and just went off of him for no reason. He's like, dude, I was like 21, second year in the league. Like, we was wild as shit on that team. Like, I know we were wild as shit. But, like, man, that's just not how you handle any player, you know what I mean, to come to him like that. And he said that him and George Karl had that rough relationship, and it's still to this day super petty between George Karl and Carmelo Anthony. Also, final wild coach story is J.J. Redick goes off on Doc Rivers, calling him trash, basically.
Dang.
I'm like, man, bro, I just wish everybody would just go get that shit off about all these former coaches and just get out. This feels like the Cat Williams shit all over again, man. And I like what Pat Bev said. He's like, dude, how you gonna slam a coach who you know gave you a chance? Like, you weren't anybody starting. You weren't a starting shooting guard. You was starting at the Clippers with Doc Rivers. He trusted you. Your whole career blew up after that. Like, man, how do you throw that dude under the bus? You know what I mean? And then J.J. Redick was like, well, I had other offers from teams. Cool, man. But you signed to go play with this dude, and your career blew up after that. Like, when J.J. Redick went to the Clippers, he was out of here at that point. He was one of the better, role players in the league. You know what I mean? So it was just all strange energy between J.J. Redick and Doc Rivers. And we all know Doc ain't that good, man. But it was just so strange to see J.J. Redick going in on that man for sure.
Can I add one more to this?
No, go ahead.
Have y'all seen the Matt Barnes stuff from today?
No, what happened?
You know, he got removed from his broadcast job with who is he
Jackson?
with? Huh?
With Steven Jackson?
No,
well, that's their own thing. So now,
yeah, that's his own thing. But he was doing like actual for a team. I forgot which team it was. Maybe the King, not the Kings. It was somebody. And because videos are circulating around of him at a basketball game for his son, like aggressively trying to go after a kid in junior high school who was doing the announcing of the game as a student announcer. He was announcing the game on a live broadcast, and Matt Barnes, there's video of him grabbing dude, putting his hands on his shoulders, getting in his face because he didn't like what the kid had to say.
I ain't seen none of that shit.
Man, it don't shock me. I mean, Matt Barnes, the same guy who drove to go
2
fight hours to try to fight Derek Fisher. Yeah,
and Matt White fine hell too.
Anyway, what is it? You even mentioned this a little bit about some of the older NBA players that are just aggressively.
I'm so glad you said that. I totally forgot to talk about that, man. Yeah, the NBA's biggest problem to me, I'm not gonna say the biggest problem, but one of their biggest problems is not getting talked about enough is the NBA is the only league that has former players that just shit on the league.
Yeah,
and they're paid by these companies that are actually covering the games. I'm not talking about like somebody sits on their podcast and they're talking about the game. I'm talking about guys who are paid by companies, TV companies that are you're watching the game and you're watching commentary from former players who are trashing the current product. You do not see that in the NFL. You don't see that in baseball.
Not at all.
You don't see that in any other sport, man. You don't see it in college sports. I mean, you do a little bit in college sports because these guys are teeing off talking about this NIL and transfer portal stuff.
Obviously, of course, but not the actual game.
Yeah, man, it's nasty work for sure for some of the stuff you're seeing out of NBA, man. But one NBA story that I do want to talk about, which is number 3 today. Great story. We opened up the show talking about the disappointment of Coach Penny Hardaway and his Tiger team this year, but a great story from one of his former players, product of the Penny Hardaway tree.
Shout out to him.
Shout out, man. Lester Quinones signs a regular roster deal with the Golden State Warriors, man. Just a great story. A guy who left early. People were like, everybody was like, man, Penny just had that guy last year. You know what I mean? He bet on himself, man. He went the G League route, signed with a team where he thought where his skill set could help out, and it has paid off for him. He has signed a deal with the Golden State Warriors for Lester Quinones, a guy who I didn't really think was a pro. He came in, him and Boogie Ellis was supposed to be this super dynamic scoring, shooting backcourt, and it didn't really pan out as far as those two guys together. But Lester had, a couple good seasons with the Tigers, went on to try the professional route, and he has caught on with the Golden State Warriors, man. Awesome.
Part of his story, I interviewed him while he was going through the draft process. I interviewed him like the day after he announced that he was going to stay in the draft. Because that was the question, right? Like, is he going to come out? Is he going to come in? And he told me off the record, he was like, man, I'm being told by my agent that everybody, like Golden State wants me in the first round. Like, these teams want me. I'm a first round guy. And I'm sitting there going,
they were lying to him.
I'm like, oh man.
But they came back and got him though.
But again, like that to me is another example of like that's nasty business that an agent would lie to a player like that. And he might still have that agent, and he might not. The agent might have been just hearing from guys too, like, hey, we might take him at this point.
And teams will bullshit you too, Ken. Like, will bullshit you. But he very well might have heard that.
He might have heard that, and that's all well and good. But man, that dude he didn't get drafted. He got picked up on a 2-way deal. And then got most improved player in the G League last year, and has now fought his way to a roster spot in the NBA.
Man, that shit dope, bro.
Yeah,
dope, man.
I believe he got dropped from the 2-way. It was straight G League. Then got the 2-way.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yep. Lester Quinones, man, signed a deal with the Golden State Warriors. Dope stuff, man, for sure. About to take a break, bro. About to do Inside the Same Brain. I need you to stay on for this one, man. I need you to stay on for this one, man. My man Parish Sharkey is definitely in the building. We're about to take a break. When we come back, Inside the Same Brain here on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
There are good coaches that have a system that they want to run. And they'll take these pieces of personnel and they'll make that personnel conform to their system. Great coaches, of course, are the ones that go get the personnel. They pick out these guys that they like, and then they'll take that personnel and they'll say, hey, you do this well, you do this well. We're going to change some things up. Right. We're going to fit this system to you.
Adaptability.
I keep watching this with Penny, and he wants this defensive culture and the thought process behind it to just sort of be his defensive system. And this year has been very telling to me that he has no adjustment off that.
Yeah.
You have to be moldable. You have to be able to change with the times and the talent and the personnel that's given to you. And I don't see that from Penny, man.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Yeah.
He wants it to be one way, his way.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Woo! It has been quite the break.
I feel like that Vince McMahon meme where it's like,
yeah,
that's me right now.
Holy Toledo. TJ, we can't have 10% beers when we eat dinner at 5 o'clock and record at 11.
So I'm still waiting for Bada to get back with this there.
Dear
God. So. Did you have any hard-hitting questions?
Oh, that'd be great. Great.
We got the commercial break.
Supposedly, there's a video of Drake going around the internet, and Kenny just sent me a still shot. It's gonna take a minute to recover from that.
That's what she said. Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Vince is who we thought Dylan was going to be, right? He's turning into that player that's just a defensive menace, but can get you buckets. And it's just fun to watch him grow and develop into the player that he is, especially against Dylan Brooks.
It was a passing of the guard thing, but because for Dylan, it was always like you loved his grit, you loved his tenacity, you loved his nastiness on the defensive end, but he just shot you out of games. And you were just hoping like Vince Williams can be that guy, and he just won't shoot as much. But it's actually been this season, he's taken 4 3-pointers a game, 37% from 3, 44% from the field as a total. And it's the polar opposite on the offensive end of what Dylan offered.
Getting in Steph's head, getting in Luka's head, bugging these star players, grinning maniacally while he's covering Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters of all time, because he's a straight-up Batman villain.
Tune in to the Two Buck Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Friday at 3 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Answer the Same Show. Final segment of the show. My man, Parish Sharkey, going to join me for Inside the Same Brain. This is interesting, man. I got an older guy like myself, a younger guy in Parish Sharkey. We're both African-American men. We're both black, if y'all didn't notice. And we got Kenny Stubblefield behind the glass.
Let's go.
Who's my age, but he's a white guy. So we got a nice variety of men to talk about this subject. Parish does not know what we're talking about. Kenny, you do. I briefed you earlier what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about the game Uno, gentlemen.
Bruh.
Uno put out a statement for you in Ghana. Shout out to Taco in Ghana for selling noodles now.
Man, I heard this. I heard that. I think I told y'all last time. The name ain't. It's not.
Yeah, the name ain't. And I asked this. I got this Hispanic friend that's Venezuelan, right? So I said, "Hey, what is?" I said, "Come on, say these say in Ghana's in English." She said, "Ain't no word." I was like, "Well," she said, "Ghana's means like." Wanted or like a want or a need or something like that.
Mm.
So I said, so you think Ngana's means like taco, like your taco fix, like this is where you come to get your taco craving? And she said, I don't know, because Ngana's is not a word. I was like, yeah. I said, yeah. Shout out to Taco in Ghana, though, who just opened it up in the blackest bars in the city. They covered. We bringing these tacos to you in Ghana. Shout out to Taco in Ghana, man. For sure. Them folks opened up next to the IHOP on Riverdale.
How do you spell that? How do you spell that last word? Because I don't want to say it, but how do you spell it?
The folks open on Danny Thomas. I'm like, shit, man. All right, man. Hold on.
Oh, bro.
At first, they was like in Cordova, like right up here. Right up here.
Yeah, that's where I go to.
Oh, God. That bug is coming to an Ngana's near you.
But Kenny is spelled, it's an N.
N-G-A.
Yeah, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
And I asked my Venezuelan friend, I said, how do you say, what does Ngana's mean in Spanish? She was like, I have no clue. She said, what are you talking about? I said, it's a place called Taco in Ghana's. She said, well, Ghana's means like a need, want type thing. But she was like, I don't know what Ngana's means. Taco in Ghana's. But yeah, why are we talking about Taco in Ghana's? I was talking about Uno,
you brought
right?
it up for something.
Uno. Oh, I use in Ghana's as a euphemism, like, to avoid saying the N-word. right. So, man, them folks selling noodles, bro. Like, Taco in Ghana's is selling effing noodles. Like, y'all are Mexican food, a taco shop. Y'all are selling noodles, bro. Like, why? Why are y'all selling noodles, bro?
Can you get? It's way too close. Can you give me a white pronunciation for tacos in?
I don't know. Somebody said that we're pronouncing it wrong too. Like, all right,
Yeah,
bro.
somebody said pronouncing it
It looked
wrong.
like Nganas to me, bro. Nganas. Oh man. Uno announced it like y'all Ngana's been playing the game wrong. Y'all been don't.
No, they always make
stop
announcements
Ngana rigging our game, man.
They always make announcements
Stop
saying we playing the jump
Yeah,
round.
stop putting Ngana rules on top of our game. But Uno said that the doubles and triples, stop doing it, right? All right, so no, Uno, we're not.
I will not stop.
All right. Now this is the thing. They said basically that if you play a draw 2, you can't play another draw
Can't
2
stack
on top of it. All right. Now
Technically, you can't.
hold on, because you are from a different generation than me, right? I grew up playing doubles and triples. If you don't know what doubles and triples is, if I got several 8s in my hand, regardless of the
all
color,
down.
if red is the color, I can throw all those 8 down, and I can strategically put whatever color I want on top, to continue the game in that color, right?
Yep.
Or I can throw several draw 2s or several draw 4s or several skips. I can skip all you in Ghana's and then come back to me, right? If I want to do that, right? Uno is saying you can't do that. There's another, okay, I said, if that's what Uno is saying, I say Uno go to hell, right? But there's another way of playing Uno that I think your generation plays. And I've walked away from many Uno tables like, no, I'm not playing that shit.
What's this?
And it says that if I throw down a draw 2, and if we're playing in a group, it's me, you, and Kenny, right? If I throw down a draw 2, if I throw a draw 2 down on you, right?
Yep.
If we're going this way, if I throw the draw 2 on you,
I'm throwing that jump down too.
that is bullshit, bro.
We did all of it.
If y'all did not understand, y'all didn't catch what Parish
I did
Sharkey
that
said.
too. We
We
did
did
that
that. So
Yeah.
we did that like big. So if you playing like 10 plus people, we did that. Now
No.
if it's like a small, like 3 people, nah, we didn't do that. We just
All
played
right,
the regular way.
let me clarify the difference in what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if I lead the hand and I throw down 2 draw 2s, that means that you got to pick up 4.
Yep.
What Parish is saying, and what it sounds like Kenny is saying, and we talked about this on the Sain podcast too. What it sounds like what you're saying is, if I throw down a draw 2, you can throw down a draw 2 and make the person beside you have to pick up 4.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I got a funny story.
I do
for you.
not play that way.
I got a funny story. For
I
you.
will not play that way.
I have played that way for my entire life.
I had to draw 34 one time. I got him walk from the table.
This is why I don't. This is why.
Are there 34 cards in the deck?
Yeah, it was that day.
Damn.
Most people play with 2 decks of Uno cards together too. You know
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So, funny thing, this weekend I was in Dallas. We was on couple trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got the game Uno No Mercy.
Yeah,
That John wild.
yeah. I heard this.
That
part.
John got an actual skip card that you skip everybody on. We played John for about a good hour.
All right, so hold on, bro. All right, so here's the thing. Here's why I disagree with that style of play. All right, because if I play a draw 2, that's a you lose a turn card. That's always been in my mind.
Yeah.
Like if I throw down a draw 2, no, you ain't doing nothing but picking up 2, and we gonna keep the game going. Like that rule is weird to me. Like I don't play like that. But I understand people do. It seems like it could be kind of fun, but no, man, that's just too. No,
I tell you, in the Mercy game, it does that, but you got to play either even or higher card. So that y'all got to draw 10. In No Mercy, it got to draw 10 and draw 6.
see that's how with the shit Uno is, right? They'll say I ain't
They create a
Ngana,
whole nother game.
right? Based on Ngana rules, right?
Yep.
Then they'll just
exactly
drop.
what it
Hey,
is.
stop messing with the OG. We about to drop Uno
That's exactly what
Ngana
it is.
edition. Oh y'all,
exactly
ass.
what they did.
Exactly. They capitalized
Like,
it.
Therefore, had to reverse draw 4, bro. Like you draw draw 4, it just reverse to the other side, and the person behind you draw 4.
Nah, bro, get out of here.
God, dog, man.
Nah, rub out on it.
Shut out, bro.
I'm straight, bro. I'm straight on regular Uno.
Like I feel like that game
Ngana
would make
rules.
fights happen, man.
Nah,
Like, that's
bruh,
a fight.
That's
type
so
of-
funny. Like it took us a legit hour before, and the way the person won was if anybody at any point get 25 cards in their hand, they automatically out the game. So basically, everybody just kept getting 25 cards until the last person who was standing. Nobody.
So you
actually
had to
got
stop the
Uno.
game and count?
Huh?
You just mean out of the game.
Like you had to count. You had 25 cards because it's draw 10s and draw 6s.
So you out, but you didn't win.
Right. That's it. If you got 25 cards at any point, that's it. You're eliminated.
So it's kind of like reverse Uno.
Yeah.
You want to be the last man standing with at least.
Basically.
You might not get down to 0, but you want to get the other folks with 25.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's kinda alright, bro. I
Switches
kinda wanna
hand,
play.
like you put a 0, everybody had to give their hand to the person to the left. If you
Yeah.
put down 7, you could switch. You had to switch with somebody. It was
Yeah, bro, I'm straight on all
Going
that.
crazy.
No, I'm good. I'm a double and triple your ass all day long.
But we couldn't double and triple in that joint. Wow. We couldn't double and triple, but it was a card where it was a you could put if you had a green card with like a deck of hands, you could put all your greens.
Damn.
Yep.
Nah, bro, that's too much to think about. Because I'm probably gonna be drunk or high. Like, nah, bro.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Y'all played 21 in when you were in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were y'all's rules with 21?
What you mean?
I mean, it was just
How did you play it?
The ace is 11.
No. 21 basketball.
basketball.
Oh, I thought you talking about a card
In
game.
a simple way. I know sometimes you play 21 tip out and you get tipped out.
Did you play tip out?
But then
I love tip
you
out.
catch an air ball, you get back in the game.
Tip out was
21 tip out is basically somebody if you miss
If
a
you
shot
tip a
and they
rebound,
tip
if you, in the air,
you
they have
out.
to be in the air.
Yeah.
They
go
go
back
back
down
to
to
0.
15.
If they go
you
above
out.
15, if they go above
you,
15, they go back down to 14. If they are below,
we did it while you was out.
if they're below,
real?
14,
nah, we ain't playing that.
if they're below
But you
14, they
can
go
get
back to
in, you catch an air
0.
ball. It was kind of crazy.
If they're
If you
below
catch an air
14, they
ball.
go back to 0.
Like out of the game? Oh no,
Yeah.
y'all playing some.
Yeah, that's some savage.
But we did that whole if you got the 20 and you missed the free throw, then you go back down to 15.
back to 15. Yeah.
That's a
did
universal rule.
Did you do so like tip out's like the main thing that is kind of a big rule change I think that a lot of people try to play. Like I don't think do you think tip out was I guess it's more popular than what I realized.
We played tip out, but I don't remember that always being a rule. It seemed like that was something that didn't start until I was like maybe in high school.
Yeah, we must
I don't
have
remember
played
playing like that as a little kid, but I do remember tip out coming in when I was like high school, college age.
Yeah.
And you was taller and could jump.
Yeah, that might be what it was. I thought it was something like
So you
that.
little, you
like
may-
we
yeah.
bigger, so we
Right.
can actually tip out now. But yeah, man. But if that's why when I play Uno for sure, man. Like I establish house rules.
Yeah, you got to establish rule to be.
You got to find out how we playing because I'm gonna tell you something else that's a weird rule of Uno. If you go by the book of Uno, right? Like it says that you're not supposed to play a draw 4 unless you don't have anything else to play.
For real?
Go read the book. Now I know they might.
I low key on the play if I don't have nothing in the way.
Right. So yeah, I usually try to go out with a draw 4. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pick your 4.
That way, if I get Uno, I'm winning.
I'm winning. Yeah, exactly.
Do y'all play where your draw 4s, draw 2s, those kind of things? You said they're a skip card, Anthony. Do you play it where they have to, are they wild or they have to be color
Oh
coded?
yeah, you play by the color.
Yeah.
You got to play by the
gotta
color.
play by the color.
But that whole if I throw a draw 2, and if you got a draw 2, you can throw one. Nah, I'm not playing that shit.
Yeah, it's on wild, bro.
Cause bro, if I throw down a draw 2, I'm not gonna be in a situation where I'm finna end up drawing anything. Like, nah, screw that, man. If you pick up your 2,
That's how
okay,
it
it's your turn.
That's how
now.
it do.
Yeah, bro. Like, y'all get up out of here with that, bro. Cause yeah, it's gonna have to go. Everybody gonna have a draw 2. Like, I'm not gonna throw down something to make you pick up 2 and I end up picking up 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, bro. I'm super good on all that. It kind of like if I throw a skip, you can't throw nothing. Your turn is gone.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If I throw a reverse, no, I got a reverse. No, it ain't your go. It's this person go. So yeah, man. So that's how I look at it. Y'all play how you want to play. You Nganos out there. But just know I ain't finna play with you at all. But I tell you what, man, for my boy Parish Sharkey, for my man Kenny Stubblefield behind the glass, it's another Anthony Sain show, and we up out of here.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.